to A Man's Journey. My name is Mo.
And I'm Tshepo. Thank you for joining us today. Okay, so today we've decided to have a discussion on gender-based violence as a continuation from our episode last week. We are joined by Tali Michaels, who is Miss SA Classique Globe 2020, and she is also a community activist within the Western Sophiatown area, and she will be telling us a bit more about her experiences and also information that she can divulge into gender-based violence.
Welcome, Tilly.
Thank you.
How
Thanks
are you?
for having me. I'm good, thank you. How are you, Mo?
No, we're good, we're good.
Hi, Tshepo. Thank you for having
joining
me.
us today.
Thank you. Today we're discussing gender-based violence, as Tshepo said. We're looking at the impact it has on family and youth. Do you have any thing to add on that?
I've got a lot to add, and you know, one always has to ask which angle do you want to take and which is the angle that you want to discuss. You know that I was the CPF chairperson at Sophiatown Police Station. And when I started there, it was almost like, how did I get into this thing? How did I get here? And the first thing I did is I went into the office and I was cleaning the office, you know, like kind of, I'm going to give it a female touch and that kind of thing. And then a lady walked in, an elderly lady. She could have been my mom's age type thing. And this lady threw herself down in the chair and just screeched out saying, "But when will it stop? What moet ek doen? What have I done in my lifetime to be here?" And I was like, my goodness, is this kind of what I signed up for? I didn't sign up for this thing, you know. But what did I sign up for? So obviously, long story short, I had to calm her down first and establish what it was, because she was in tears, she was shaking, she was really torn apart. And then it turned out that she was abused by her son. She was being abused by her own son, you know. And wow, it was like kind of, it was the first time for me. You know, when you hear about gender-based violence, you always think it is a male being abusive towards his girlfriend, his wife, his spouse, that kind of thing. Yeah. And for some reason, we never look at it in terms of abuse towards a parent or that kind of relationship. Yeah. And the sad part about it, when you say, is what does it do to families, is this lady had to sleep at neighbors' homes and then wake up early in the morning and stand and look and just to see him leave so that she could rush into the house to try and wash or something. Anyway, long story short, we managed to get him arrested. Unfortunately, the process was quite a long process, and the police knew about this. So it really just needed somebody that was going to sit on the matter and take it to its final space, which was that he eventually got arrested. And the beauty to see her come into the office the next time and turn around and be able to say, "Today I sat in my bath. I thought I should just come and tell you that I had a bath in my house." So when you talk about what does it do to families, can you imagine having to leave your house and sleep at neighbors' places, and that you can't enjoy the amenities in your house? That is gender-based violence. Somebody whom you gave birth to. And that is what we need to deal with. You know, we need to break those kinds of cycles.
But how do you think we can actually break that cycle?
We need to talk more. As communities, you know, the unfortunate thing about this is, and we had a conversation earlier on as well, where but the mother or the lady doesn't want to say anything. You just see that she's got bruises, but you don't hear anything that has happened. And you see there is something going wrong. And for me, that is where we as communities have to play a part. Because you live in a community. You do not live in isolation. I can see my neighbor's house. I can see my neighbors across the road around me and those type of things. You just saw a neighbor come in here to come and ask for help now. We live in a community. And in that community, that is the community that becomes more our family than our families themselves. Talk to somebody in that community. Let that community come together and be able to turn around and say, no, but this is not it. This is not how it is done. If that's not the case, police stations have got what we call victim empowerment centers. You can go to the victim empowerment center. There is somebody there that is going to help you. And those victim empowerment centers are equipped with social workers as well. Yes, the process may take longer than you hope it to do, but speak out. And if the person is not going to speak out, as I was saying earlier on, and there's a child involved, you as a community come in and take over. Because until and unless we go back to what is our guiding principle, that spirit of Ubuntu. In my time, if you did something wrong in the street and you were chastised by an elderly person, there was no way you were going to go home and tell your mother, your uncle so-and-so or whoever it is scolded at me or...
That's so true.
Well, in my day, you spare the rod.
I think in my days too.
You know. So today it is different. You can't swipe a child's backside or anything. But still, it doesn't mean you cannot turn around and say, "Excuse me, you know, what is this about?"
Or bring guidance to their child. Wisdom is important.
It doesn't have to be yours. It doesn't have to be your birth child. But that is what Ubuntu is about. It's about your child is my child, and we have to break that cycle. So if that person is not going to speak, because on the positive side we'll say the person is afraid, and then let's go to the other extreme, which is the negative side, and say maybe that person's ego is getting in the way of speaking about the situation that they are in. And we have to then say, you know, she has been receiving flowers. Up until the day she says, today is the last bunch of flowers that I am going to get, because they are the flowers on my coffin. Because you did not speak up, or because your neighbors did not speak up, or because somebody in the community did not speak up. That is how I believe we need to break the cycle.
Now, just to also ask, there are cases where, for example, my neighbor would be maybe abusing his wife, for example, and I would actually like to say or report this, but then I'm too afraid that my name would get mentioned in the case itself. Are there possibly ways that a community member can report such instances anonymously?
Every police station has got, well, I think there's a national, you'll have to look it up before you go on air. Or after you've gone, after this interview, please do look it up. There is an anonymous hotline that you can call. There are organizations, Power.
POWA.
Yes. You can call them and say, there is this incident in my community. This is what I am afraid of. There are men's associations that you can call and say, because there are men that are saying, not in my name, don't do it. We do have associations, we do have groupings in our communities. We must, you've taken it upon yourselves to do this topic, to cover this topic. Take it upon yourselves as well to have a look and see which are the men's organizations that say, not in my name, and flag their numbers. When you talk about reporting anonymously, You definitely can call those associations and say, I do not want to be mentioned. Firstly, why do you want to remain anonymous? But that's fine.
I think it comes from the aspect of, like, you know, tomorrow they're together again, they're gonna be angry with me.
Then so be it, let them be angry at me. But I have, as a person that believes that this is not the way it should be, have done my part. I've done my part. So tomorrow, when you are happy, yes, it is fine, and you do not want to speak to me, it's okay. I'm happy with that. I'm cool with that. The next tomorrow is you are going to be in that situation. You are going to know who to run to.
Yes.
At least I'm standing up as a beacon to say, I am a beacon of truth in this situation. As a male, not in my name. As a female, I am going to help break the cycle. It's not going to happen. So if you are happy today and I am the enemy today, I'm fine with being that kind of enemy. But I am also fine with being the kind of friend that is going to be there to help you break the cycle.
Yes.
So that it's not just about you, it's about the rest of your family and, God forbid, your children.
Because that's where the cycle continues.
Absolutely.
You have to, like,
Absolutely.
so, thank you, Ms. Tilly. The contact numbers will be added after the show, as Sonke Justice is one of them, Power is one of them. Any motivation that you have for somebody in such a situation, as Mrs. Essa Classique Globe.
Speak up. Speak up. Try by all means to talk about it. Phone that anonymous hotline. There is a hotline out there in your area, in your community. Phone that number. Tell them this is the situation I am in. I'm not ready to get out of it for whatever the reasons are. And the reasons are varied. Dependency, sustenance, whatever it is. But speak out. Have somebody. There is somebody at the end of a line that is prepared to listen to you and help you with the process, to get through that process. My advice is take that step to get out of that situation. And I suppose the converse of that is to speak to our communities, speak to our business people as well, to say, open up opportunities for these kinds of people so that their cycle of dependency is broken, that they can depend on themselves for their livelihoods.
Thank you very much.
You're most welcome. Enter a competition.
Thank you, Tilly. We really do appreciate having you on the show today with us. Just to touch on one more thing, we did also speak about this a bit earlier, in terms of, for example, in cases where there are children in homes of GBV. Can they also report such cases to their schools to get help and assistance from them?
The school is a guardian. And 9 out of 10 times, my experience again as the CPF chairperson, is the principal of the school would phone me. And I had various schools in our community, you know, where the principal would phone.
Yeah.
I think one of the worst things for me, as in the position of CPF chairperson, was to hear a principal say that they spend 60% of their time on correctional behavior as opposed to teaching time.
Yeah.
So 40% of a teacher's time teaching and 60% taking care of behavior because of the problems that stem from the home or the community. So teachers, they are mothers, they are fathers. They take it upon themselves and they take this seriously. So yes, they fill that role of guardian. And they're the ones too that will escalate the problem.
Yeah.
So that help can be given. But we also need to look. Our municipalities offer help. We've got like the TDC in our community, where people can go to and ask for assistance.
But there is organizations to help you. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching. Thank you, Tilly, for coming as a guest.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thanks.
Thank you, Tilly.
Thank you very much.